Hey guys, welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. It's Monday and we're doing a balance flow tonight. Just kind of the second part of the balance flow that we did on Monday. Just a few new poses and kind of the same kind of flow where we're going to just explore some balancing and kind of break down some of the poses and maybe give you some tips to see maybe if you can modify things or to make them easier or make them a little bit more challenging. So we'll get started on the mat. All you need is your mat and maybe some water. Grab blocks if you're used to using blocks, or a strap if you're used to using a strap. But other than that, we can do all the poses without any props at all. So come on down to your mat. We're going to start in Sukhasana, cross-legged position. So come on down and cross your legs and just get comfortable here. You can sit on a cushion if you're used to sitting on a cushion. But other than that, you can kind of rock from side to side and just get comfortable. So first we're just going to do some kind of cow and cat spine stretching. So we're going to round the spine, tucking the chin in, rolling the shoulders forward, and then inhale, lift your chest forward and pull the shoulders back and pull those elbows back as well. The hands are just pulling onto the knees. So exhale and then inhale. And then you can kind of feel as well, tailbone kind of tucks under and then lifts away on that extension through the spine. Exhale, inhale. All right, now we'll move around in a circle motion. So moving the upper body around, just pick a direction to move and just keep stirring around here. Place your hands on your knees just to kind of anchor the hips and the legs down. Inhale forward and exhale back. And you kind of get your shoulders moving around in circles too. So we're just going to loosen it, the joints, shoulder joints, get the spine moving. Get the core activated a little more. Okay, switch the direction. Inhale forward and then exhale back. All right, and then come back to your center. Reach up with both arms. Inhale, let's twist to the right side. Left hand on the right knee and the right hand is back behind you, propping yourself up. Draw your chin over to the right shoulder there, lifting up nice and tall. Breathe and release. Reach up to the ceiling and then exhale to the other side. Twisting and lifting up tall, dropping the shoulders down, drawing the chin over to the left shoulder. And then come on back to center. Reach up with both arms, inhale, and then exhale. Reach forward and just fall forward. Drop your head and breathe into your spine. Feel free to make movement here. Do a little bit of rocking from side to side if that feels good, or just be still. Breathing into the back, allowing your eyes to close. Notice where you feel the stretch here. Okay, staying forward folding, we're just walking the hands and the arms over to the right side, bowing more towards the knee. And then over to the left side, letting the head drop towards the knee. And then come back to center and rise up. Take the hands back behind you and arch back. Lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together, draw the shoulders down and back. Take another deep breath in. And then exhale and release. Okay, we're going to rock forward into tabletop pose from here. So come on onto all fours. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Okay, begin rounding the spine into cat arch. And then inhale to cow. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Exhale. And inhale. Come back to neutral spine. Lift your right leg back behind you. Stretch your left arm forward. Reaching through that left arm. Reaching through your right leg. Both directions. And release down. Switch sides. That left leg is coming back and your right arm is reaching forward. Just think of getting long through your arm, long through your leg. One more breath, and release down. Okay, switching sides again. Take that right leg back behind you. Reach your left arm forward. Bring the elbow to knee, knee to elbow. Keep holding here. And then reach away. And then release. Okay, this is a modified pose here. I'm just going to grab my blocks. Going to do the other side here just to show you what it looks like with modified bird dog pose. So the left leg is reaching out and the right arm is reaching forward, so holding that. So this will take less pressure off the wrists. And then bringing the elbow to knee, knee to elbow. Tucking in. One more breath, and then reaching away, and then releasing down. So same thing, we're going to go up to down dog, and I'll just demo here what down dog looks like with the blocks. So you're just tucking your toes, and you're lifting up. So again, basically you're just in down dog, but elevated a lot more. You can use higher blocks. You can use a stool if you like too. So that just changes your angle so that you're not putting so much weight forward into your wrists if you have wrist issues. Okay, if you have no problem with the wrists, then I suggest just going into regular down dog and working from there. So what you want to do is making sure your fingers are spread really wide in down dog is really key. Pushing through the knuckle mounds of the hands and reaching back through the heel of the palm. Reach your weight back into your legs as much as possible. Reach into your heels. You may be here bending into your knees, and that's fine too. Working on straightening your legs eventually. Okay, step your feet wider. Walk your hands now towards your feet. So you're at the back of the mat and just folding. Rocking from side to side, breathing. Alright, come back to center, rise up all the way. Reach up with both arms, inhale, and then exhale, come back down, walk forward into down dog. Walk your feet more together. Lift your right leg back behind you, up into the air. And then release down. Left leg back behind you, stretch it back, and then release down. Right leg, and then release down. Left leg, and release down. Walk your hop forward now, hands to your, or feet to your hands, come to the top of the mat, fold forward, release the head, sides of the neck, all release down. Breathing deep. Head is relaxed. Weight comes back into your heels. Let's rise up all the way. Reach up with both arms. Inhale. And then exhale. Bring it all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up all the way. Bring your hands to your heart. Clasp your fingers. Press down. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, release your hands back behind you. Clasp your fingers back behind you. Pull the shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Reach up. Exhale, clasp your fingers, press down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale back, clasp and pull down, and then exhale. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Arms reach up. Exhale, clasp and press. So we're going to reach up. Your hands clasped and pressed, reaching up towards the ceiling. Now rock up onto the balls of the feet. Lift your heels. Gaze up. And just try and get really tall here. So just notice your feet, notice the activation of your feet. Notice how your body's just trying to stay lifting, balance here. Notice your toes working, your calf muscles working. And then release your heels back to the floor. Take your hands back behind you, clasp your fingers, step your feet wide. Pull your arms back and then bow forward. As you're folding forward, shift the weight more forward into your toes. Just a little bit. You don't have to lift your heels up off the floor. You don't want to go tumbling forward. But just a little bit so that you feel the backs of your legs stretch a little bit more. And then rise up all the way. Reach up with both arms. Drop your right arm down by your right side. Okay, so just holding here. Arm overhead. You can look up at your arm if you want to. Holding and breathing. Go to the other side. Left arm down by the side. Right arm overhead. Big stretch. Breathe deep. Legs are straight here and just lifting right up. Feeling that side stretch all the way down the right side of the body. Come on back to center. Reach up both arms. Exhale, arms down by your side, stepping your feet back together. Sweep up the arms again. Okay, clasp your fingers at the top. So you're clasping all but index and thumb pointing straight up. So arms clasped. Now we're going to lean to the right side, holding that standing half moon. But then we're going to take the left leg off the ground. So just a little bit off the ground. If you need to, kind of use your toe a little bit just to find the balance. And then when you get a little bit more confident, then you're reaching out way out to the side. So shift the weight so that you're angling over to the side and holding and just reaching out. So you should feel that left hip fire up. You should feel your right ankle, calf muscles work hard, and core muscles fire up as well. Okay, come back to center, and then release your arms and sweep down. Okay, just hang in there, let the back relax, breathe into it. Back to center, come up all the way. At the top again, clasping your fingers, all but index and thumb. So point up, find your straight pose, and then start leaning to the left side. Okay, once you've found your core, then you're lifting your right leg away. And you're just doing it gradually. And you are trying to lift it as high as you can out to the side. Just straight out to the side, so not back. Just enough so that you will feel right here. So that hip, the hip flexor, and you'll feel your outer hip, your glute medius work and fire up as well. Try to stay tall and lifted, not forward folding. And one more breath. And release down. Okay, come on back to center. Sweep down, forward fold, release the back. Breathe into that. Okay, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor and step your right foot back. Drop your right knee down to the floor. Take the arms up for a crescent lunge, holding here. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Come back into plank pose, lower through chaturanga. Lift into up dog or cobra, and then come back into downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, left knee down, arms reaching up, and just holding here. Another deep breath, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor, step forward to the top. Inhale halfway, exhale forward fold. Inhale, rise up all the up through the body. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step left foot back, left knee down to the floor. Arms reach up. Breathing deep. Hands to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Lower through chaturanga. Up dog cobra. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Right knee down. Arms reach up. And hands to the floor. Step forward to the top. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, rise up all the way. Exhale, hands to the heart. All right. So adding on some variations of the vinyasa, like we did last time, and incorporating more balancing. So we're going to reach up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands to the floor. And you can bend your knees to do this. Fingertips to the floor. We're going to take that right leg back. So standing split style, right leg. Holding for 3, 2, 1, and then slowly step back all the way. Drop your right knee down to the floor. Take both arms up. Twist to your left. Take your right arm forward, left arm back. Reaching through. And then closing it up, reaching up with both arms. Exhale, hands to the floor. Taking it back to chaturanga. So I usually do this balance, the 3-legged chaturanga, and it's kind of, there's just a preference maybe in style if you want to do it. I find it's just challenging, and I usually just like to do it all the time. It's a 3-legged chaturanga. Or 3-legged plank pose, and then the 3-legged chaturanga. So I lower all the way down with the left leg lifted, so with one leg lifted until I come down. So that's something you can practice as well as far as balancing goes. We're coming up to up dog, and then coming back into downward facing dog. So we're going to reach the right leg back. So again, like I said, last Monday's class, the 3-legged down dog, also consider a balance pose. Holding that, kind of just like you're standing split, and then stepping forward nice and slowly with that right foot. Drop your left knee down to the floor, arms reaching up. Left arm forward, right arm back, twisting to the right side this time. Just reaching through the shoulders, hear the shoulders open, close it in, reach up with both arms. Hands come forward, and then we're going to come up into that standing split again. So lift your back knee up off the floor, kick up. And you can use blocks for this, so I'll just demo with the blocks. So say I'm holding blocks here, that's fine. Holding onto blocks. If I can't reach, if you need holding blocks, in reality you'd be more up here because your hamstrings would be pretty tight. So you probably wouldn't be able to fold forward that much. That is fine. And then stepping forward with the left foot. Okay, halfway lift, inhale, exhale, forward fold, inhale, rise up all the way. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, hands to the floor. Take that left leg back in a standing split. And then step all the way back down. Drop your right knee down, or left knee down to the floor. Arms reach up. Let's open up to the left side. Right arm forward, left arm back. So right away you should feel your right inner thigh open here. The knee is kind of opening up to the side. Tip back, take the left hand back at the leg. So that can be right to the back of the knee, or you can reach back even further down to the heel and then press forward a little bit just to get a little more opening into the back and into the hip. You can look forward or stay looking over your left shoulder. Okay, engaging your core, coming out, reaching up with both arms, hands to the floor, step back. So again, that 3-legged down dog or 3-legged plank pose, and then lowering to 3-legged chaturanga to the up dog or cobra, and then coming back into downward facing dog. Left leg comes back in 3-legged down dog. Holding here, just with a straight leg is fine. Be anywhere off the ground. You can be down low, nice and low. You can be up higher. Okay, let's step forward. Drop your right knee to the floor. Take the arms up. Let's open up to the right side. Left arm forward, right arm back. Reaching through the arms. And this time you should feel that left inner thigh open. Kind of tailbone tucking under, dropping through the shoulders. Okay, tip back, that hand either to the back of the knee and you're looking over your right shoulder, or reach back further onto your heel, looking over the shoulder still, looking up at the ceiling. If you have space, then lean forward. Try to bend into your front knee a little bit more. Okay, engaging core, come out, and then reaching up. Both arms, hands to the floor. From here, lift your back knee, and then come up into standing split at the top of the mat. So your right leg lifts, and just holding that. So standing split, you can just practice. If you can touch the floor easily, then draw your head more towards your right knee. And for those that are more practiced at this, look back at your back leg and think about turning your inner arch of your foot up towards the ceiling. So that kind of lifts your inner thigh, rolls your inner thigh up, as opposed to turning your foot out to the right, okay? So line it up so that your knee is pointing down, inner thigh slightly rolled up. Step forward, halfway lift, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up all the way, hands to the heart. Okay, adding on a few more variations, reaching up with both arms. Exhale, hands to the floor. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale. Step your right foot back, drop your right knee down to the floor. Arms reach up. So crescent lunge here. Take your right hand down to the floor, and then the left arm is going to lift up, and then lift your right knee off the ground. Okay, and just really engaging that right leg. So reaching through that heel, engaging the core. One more breath. And then left hand to the floor. Okay, we're back to that three-legged down dog. The left leg is going to kick underneath your right leg. So you're in that side leg, side plank position with the left bottom leg floating. Coming back around, keeping the left leg floated if possible. And now take it out to side split plank. So the left leg's going to go out to the side. So you can touch the floor and just kind of walk your leg up so you're feeling that stretch. The right leg back here, really activated here for the balance. More of an arm balance. You're lifting that leg off the floor. So you can bend into your elbows as much as you need to. And then come on back, sweep back. And then down you go through chaturanga to up dog or cobra, and then back into downward facing dog. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Right foot steps forward, left knee down to the floor, arms lift up. Okay, breathing deep here. All right, left arm down to the floor, right arm's going to reach up. So you can stay down low, or you can lift up that left knee off the ground. And if you do lift the left knee off the ground, you're really activating through that left leg here. Push out through the heel, squeeze your left glute. Or pull that right shoulder back, breathe, one more breath. And plant it down. Come on back, now that right leg's gonna float. Kick it under, the heel spin. So you're in that side plank. So bottom leg floated, you can be down here and you can work on just holding for a couple seconds and then releasing. That's how you work up to it. Hold and release. Do the pulsing motion if you want to, if you can't quite hold for the whole duration. Come around, back to plank pose. Now the right leg's gonna swing out to the right. You're in the split plank pose. So again, that foot can be to the floor, and if you're a little more burly, then you lean over to the left side and try and float the right foot above the ground. And then sweep back, lower down. Chaturanga, up dog cobra, take your rest. Go to child's pose, bring the knees back, bring the hips back to the heels, bend your knees. Breathe into your back. Now if you feel tension running in any of the wrists, so these, the rest points, this is what you're gonna do, and even if I'm not offering a child's pose, when you do come to child's pose, if you're just watching, just start circling around in your wrist while you're here. So you're down, you're stretching your back anyways. Good thing to do, just kind of roll out your wrist. If you're feeling it, maybe good to go to do that anyways. Place your hands together in a prayer position. Point your fingers forward and back. So move around both directions. Okay, both directions, counterclockwise, clockwise. Just finding all moving your wrists in all different directions just to help with that mobility. Okay, left tuck. We're gonna come up to downward facing dog from tabletop and walk it up. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Look forward, step or hop forward. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold, and inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Okay, so we're going to do tree. We didn't even do tree last Monday, so we're going to do tree and other variations of tree pose. Kind of the classic balancing pose for yoga. It's what everyone does when they say that they can do yoga. They just go into some sort of tree position. It's kind of funny. So we're going to do it. We're going to balance on the left foot. So go ahead and again, just spread your toes nice and wide, drop them onto the floor. Feel where your weight is balanced in your foot. And then when you're ready, lift your right leg. So help yourself with your foot, place it up as high as you can. So ideally into the inner thigh. Above or below the knee. So if that's not possible, then just come down onto the calf and just open up, make sure that that right knee is open to the right. So if it's here, just help yourself to open it up, and maybe you're here, and that's fine. Maybe you're down here, just kind of lightly touching the ground with your toe, but do not use the wall. Try to not use anything but your own body to balance in tree pose. Okay, of course, the harder position is up here, and then do what you want with your hands, so you can have your hands at prayer. So this is a good centering pose, centering position for your hands, just right here, or onto your hips, or reaching up. So when you reach up, I like to reach up just because as soon as you do, you feel your core activate a little bit more, which is kind of what you need to feel when you're in tree pose, is that core activation that helps you stay centered and still. So look ahead of you, on the floor ahead of you. Find something that's not moving when you're focusing on your balance pose. Just take another deep breath in, and then you're exhaling and releasing, and come out of it. So shake it off, pedal it out with your feet, and then we'll do the other side, balancing on the right foot. So again, just kind of finding where you're at on this side, lifting your foot up as high as you can, and placing it into your inner right thigh. Try not to move too fast into the pose, so you're just starting slow, and then with the arm positions, again, you can try what you like here. Another tip for your tree pose, you want to think of your foot and your thigh as a sandwich. So you want to push those two together. Push your thigh against your foot and your foot against your thigh. So when you have those, that kind of resistance there, that helps ground in a downward direction. And then from your hips, anything above your hips, from your belly button and up to your head, that's lifting in an upward direction. So think of your belly buttons lifting up towards the ceiling, and it is helpful with your arms reaching up too, just to help with that core. Okay, another deep breath in, and then you're releasing up. Okay, so stepping to the top of the mat, Vol Vinyasa, and then we will do another variation of tree pose. Reaching up, both arms, exhale, forward fold, inhale halfway, and then exhale, jump or step back. Find plank, lower through chaturanga, lift into up dog or cobra, and then come back to downward facing dog. Walk it out, shake it out. All right, so look forward, step or hop up to the hands, halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold, inhale, rise up all the way, and then exhale and release. Okay, balancing on the right foot first again. So, or sorry, left foot first, and then bringing your right foot up. So, right foot. So go ahead and pick your leg position for tree. Another variation is half lotus in tree pose. And you can hold onto your foot and do this. If you feel any knee pain while you're getting into this pose is probably not for you if you feel knee pain. If you feel tightness in your hip, that's completely normal. Okay, so you can hold it there. Again, the trick to not holding onto your foot and just letting your foot stay there is pushing, is the pressure. So my foot is pushing into the front of my thigh here. And then, so that's the leg position. Do whatever you want. Now the arm position we're going to try is right arm down beside you, and then the left arm is wrapping behind you, reaching for an elbow. So grabbing above, probably below your elbow, onto your forearm, and just holding that position. So you can, again, you can do the regular tree or foot to calf with the leg position, but try this arm position. It just helps to kind of pull those shoulders back and gives you a little bit more of a taller posture. Maybe you feel a little bit stronger because your arms are kind of back behind you and they're acting more like almost like a second spine. Okay, go ahead and release that. Shake it out. And we will do the other side. So balancing on your right foot, again, get prepared, find your space on your mat, and when you're ready, go ahead and lift your left foot up. So left foot in half lotus if you'd like, or regular tree. So the left arm is going to come down by the side, and your right arm is going to reach back. I'm just going to turn around so that you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm doing my tree pose. My left arm is coming behind me and I'm grabbing just below the elbow and I'm pulling my shoulders back. Okay, so just holding where you're at. And kind of leaning back into the arm as well. You'll feel that bracing, your right arm kind of bracing your low back. Take another deep breath in, and then releasing out. Okay, stepping to the top of the mat now, reaching up with both arms. Exhale and fold forward. Halfway inhale, exhale, step forward, jump back. Find plank pose, lower through chaturanga. Lift into up dog or cobra. Come to plank pose. Go to side plank pose on your right side. Let's try side plank tree. So right foot, left foot into your right calf. So that is basically simple side plank tree. And it may not be simple for some people. If you have wrist issues, come on down to the forearm and try it. Okay, but that bottom leg will be hovering off the floor. The only reason you come down to the forearm would be just because you have wrist issues, soreness, tightness. Your right arm can reach up. Sorry, that's my left arm reaching up towards the ceiling. Okay, and then we're gonna go to the other side. So I'm just gonna roll over to the other side and on my left. And so you're in side plank and then you're just placing that right foot into the left calf. Okay, so holding there. If this is definitely not for you, then you're just placing that foot forward and holding. Okay, side plank may be a challenge as it is. Take another deep breath in and then release. So come on back to plank pose, lower through chaturanga, lift into up dog or cobra, and then come back to downward facing dog. Breathing out, so stretch it back into the heels. Bend into your right knee. Try to straighten out that left leg. And then bend into your left knee and try to straighten out the right leg. So we're stretching out through the hamstrings and calves. All right, and then back into just pedaling it out. Lift your right leg up to the sky and then step forward with your right foot. Drop your left knee to the floor and reach up. So find a crescent lunge again. Take your left arm forward, right arm back. From here, reaching back and adding on some twisting here, so in the sequence. So we're going to take that right hand to the back of the left leg, and you can kind of reach down to the knee if you want. So you can stay looking over your right shoulder. So you will feel this huge stretch to the left side of your body, and that is what you want to target. You can look up at the ceiling. Okay, from here we're going to release. Take that left hand to the floor and your right arm is going to reach up. Now lift your left knee off the floor. From here, moving into star side plank. So you can bring your right hand onto your hip to do this. And again, you may need to kind of shuffle your foot to do this instead of doing it all into one move. But I will show you what it looks like. You're just going to shift the weight to the left, and then the left foot is going to leave and come here. So you can go right back into that tree pose. You can go here, foot in front. Your hand can reach up towards the ceiling. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Now plant the hand back into plank, lower through chaturanga. Lift into up dog, cobra, go to down dog. Breathe it out. All right, step your left foot forward, right knee down, arms reaching up. Okay, twisting to the left side, right arm forward, left arm back, reaching through the arms. Now, left hand is going to find the right back of the knee. So looking over, maybe looking up at the ceiling. Now the stretch will be on the right side of your body. All right, now releasing, I'll plant the right hand to the floor and lift that left arm up. Lift the right knee up off the floor. All right, so now going into that side plank, star side plank or tree side plank from here. So again, you're just leaning to the right side so that you can shift the weight and take it into that tree, star, or modified. And come back to plank pose. Lower through chaturanga. Lift into up dog or cobra, and then come back into child's pose. So again, shake out your wrists if you need to. All right, so come on up back into tabletop position. And we're going to just stay here in tabletop and try some more balancing poses from tabletop. So you can go ahead, if you have blocks, you can prop yourself up on blocks or books or something. If you feel like tabletop is hard on your wrists, you can do these with propped up hands. Take your left leg back. We're going to bird dog. So left leg and right arm. And then we're going to do the reach behind bind. So we're going to bend into the left knee, bring the left knee to the floor, and then reach to the right. This is position A. This is maybe where you stay. Maybe you reach back and grab your inner ankle, top of foot. Maybe this is where you stay. This is position B. So this is good stretch. You're stretching your quad, you're stretching your shoulder, your obliques, your whole upper body, getting a good twist. For position C, you are kicking up into your hand and creating more of a bow position for yourself. Maybe you end up facing, looking at the floor again, and you just keep on kicking and pulling to find a little bit more activation. So extension through the spine, definitely feel that in your quad and your shoulder. And then with the bow position, you'll feel that in the front of your body, getting a good stretch. All right, so releasing out, down goes the knee, release the hand, come out to the floor, and then cow cat. Exhale, inhale, one more, exhale, and inhale. Switch sides, so the right leg is going to reach back, and the left arm is going to reach forward. Position A, drop the knee, bend the knee, heels close to your bum, and reach out to the left. So this is where you stay for A. Reach back for B, grabbing on to the left foot with your right hand. Right hand, right foot, left hand, that's it. Okay, and holding here, or kicking up. And try to move that left shoulder back as best as you can. I know one side will feel different from the other, and you're just trying to find that balance and symmetry between both sides as best as you can. Try to do what you did on the other side. All right, so go ahead and release down and back to tabletop pose. Okay, cow cat. One more. Exhale, inhale. Back to center, walk your hands forward, tap toes under, lift up, down dog. Lift your right leg up high to the sky. This time bend into your right knee, open up the hip. Step your right foot forward. Come into a runner's lunge, so don't drop your back knee. Come up to a high lunge, finding your balance. Like I said, in the last class, you can just make sure your front knee is over your front ankle, but you can walk your front foot out to the side or your back foot out to the side just to widen your gait. That's an important tip just in case you feel like you are on a tightrope and it may not be helpful for you. Okay, we're going to go into some half moon action. So we're going to do revolved half moon right away here. So we're coming forward, and you can use blocks for this. I'm going to turn around to the other side. Just because my blocks are here. So I have blocks here reaching out, and then we're coming forward. Maybe your hands are on blocks. I'm just going to demo with the blocks, but you don't have to have them. Kick up with your left leg so that we're in the standing split position, and the hips are neutral right now. So just holding that. Okay, when you're ready to do the revolved half moon, the right hand is going to lift off and onto your hip. So look over your shoulder, reach up with your right arm if you want to, or as a variation of what we just did, you can bend into your left knee and catch the inside part of your left foot with your right arm to do a variation of half moon. Okay, one more breath here. And then releasing out. So we're just going to come all the way back down, step your left foot back, drop your left knee to the floor, and take your arms up. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. We'll stretch that front leg out in half monkey split. So go ahead, lift the right toes up, flex your foot, then pull the hips back, leaning forward. Come forward into lunge, reach up, and then take your hands to the floor, back again, and into the half moon once again. This variation, again, just a little bit of a balance, taking your hands up off the ground. So you could be airplane, you can clasp your hands back behind you, and bow forward. Okay, if this is too much, then your hands are on the floor for support. Engaging your core, release your hands, come forward, lunge, step back, plank pose, lower through chaturanga to up dog or cobra, and then come back to downward facing dog. Walk it out. Left leg is next here. Bend into the knee. So lift that leg up, bend into the knee, open the hip. Step forward to runner's lunge, and then come up to high lunge. Reaching up. Okay, I'm going to demo without blocks for this side. So coming forward, hands come down to the floor, and then we're kicking up to standing split to start. So go ahead, kick up with that right leg, and we're holding that position. When you're ready, we're revolving to the left. So the left hand will come onto the left hip, and you can just slowly start to look over the shoulder. You can look at the ceiling, or you can do the variation. So bending into your right knee, catching the top of your foot, inside part of the arch, kind of working your way down, and then finding that bind, pulling that bind back so that your knee is not kind of crossing over too much, and it's basically right behind you, and it's not going over to the left. So if your knee is falling over to the left just because you're in this like weird position where you can't quite reach, but your hips are too tight, or your quadriceps are too tight, maybe that position will be for you today. You have to work on it, and you have to get the shoulder open for that knee to come back, straight back behind you. And then you can kind of work on kicking your foot into your hand and creating more of a bow position. Okay, releasing that foot, and then coming down, dropping that back knee to the floor, and then reaching up with both arms, crescent lunge, hands to the floor, and then monkey split. So the left toes lift up, and again you can sit back here if you want to as well, if that doesn't bother your knee too much. But do have this left foot flex, toes curling back towards you, stretching out the calf muscles. Come forward, reach up, hands to the floor, back for the second round, and you're either staying here or you're doing some kind of variation. If you feel like you're pretty wobbly with both hands, you can try just taking one arm out to the side. Take your right arm out to the side just to see how it feels, and then take your left arm. So I'm not sitting back on my heel to do that. I'm up on my left, or I'm up on my right knee, so that makes it even more trickier. Because once you sit back, sink down a little bit more, that makes it easier. So this is the balance pose. You're holding here, you're propped up on your right knee, on just your ankle, on your heel. So you're kind of limiting the points of contact on your mat. Clasping your hands back behind you for more advanced, and folding for more advanced. And releasing, come forward into lunge, reach up, take another deep breath here, and then exhale, bring hands to the floor, step back into plank pose. chaturanga, get to up dog or cobra, and then take it back into downward facing dog, walking it out. Breathing deep here. One more breath. Okay, we're going to try a little bit more arm balancing. From here, we're going to go into crow. So we're going to step the feet nice and wide, and then walk the hands back towards the feet. So what you want to do is just kind of get your hips prepped in that squat position. It's pretty key for crow. So maybe your heels are up off the floor for squat. Maybe they're on the floor, but you do need to kind of step your feet wide, feet pointed out to the sides, and that is fine. So just hang out and squat for a little bit. Let your tailbone drop down. Try to lift your chest forward and kind of try to find a neutral pelvis as best as you can. Take another deep breath in and then release. Before we go into crow, we're just going to walk the feet closer so that your toes are touching, and then open the knees nice and wide. So we're going to reach forward from here and get a big stretch through the spine, rounding the spine. This is one position. The next position would be to reach back with both hands and grab onto your heels and lift your heels. So you lift your heels up nice and high so that you're just on the balls of the feet and the toes. Head is tucked in. Building that strength in your feet. And lift up as high as you can, right up onto the toes, and then release. Hands to the floor, step your feet back wide again, and then lift your hips, just kind of shake it out before we go back into squat and crow. Okay, so to crow pose, I'm going to show you with a block here. Is my perch. So I'm just going to demo with the block, then I'll demo without the block. So if you have a block handy or a textbook or something, just getting your feet a little bit higher and your hips a little bit higher may help if you have issues getting your knees way up onto your up your armpits and upper triceps and shoulders. Get your hips up higher, and then you might be able to achieve your crow pose a little bit better. Spread your fingers nice and wide, so as wide as possible. Take your hands to the edges of your mat, so each pinky finger touching the edge of your mat. Now, leaning forward is the scary thing, but most necessary. Get your knees up nice and high, up to inner knees, up onto the upper triceps. Now you want to, like I said, the sandwich effect, push your arms back into your knees and your knees into your arms at the same time as you're leaning forward. Then practice lifting one foot up off the floor, then the other. Maybe touching your feet together. Without the block doesn't really make a difference. It's just the starting point, and then once you get up, then you're pretty much up. Maybe if you're practicing at home, but if it helps you mentally, then you can put some pillows in front of you, because you may just roll forward, because you do need to lean, and it's kind of all about balancing and feeling that weight into your fingers, which is kind of a scary thing as well. But your fingers are strong and they can hold that weight. But again, it is with practice, and it is pretty heavy on the wrist. So you can shake out your wrist, do some rolls, and then begin again. We're going to go to down dog next. So walk forward, walk it out. All right, back into some twists here. So right leg lifts. Step forward with your right foot. Drop your left knee down to the floor. Reach up with both arms. Take your hands to your heart. Let's twist to the right side. Left elbow onto the right knee. So stay low, lift up high if you wish. Pressing your palms together. Try to get the thumbs to the center of your chest. Okay, releasing out. And then we're going to point the toes to the left side of the mat to come into a wide-legged standing forward, fold, fold down. Breathing deep, shift the weight forward into your toes slightly, and then back into your heels. Forward into your toes, back into your heels. Halfway lift from here. I'll demo with a block in case you feel like your hamstrings are really tight. Then use a block here to get into a halfway position. And you can go low position, medium, or higher. So you will feel this, it just kind of depends on how the twist feels, really. So you may feel like you're in a neutral spine until you twist. So twisting with a neutral spine, you will feel like you can get lots of space. Your right arm is going to lift here. Okay, if you feel like you are compressing your spine as you're twisting at this stage, then maybe you're down a little bit too low. And just try it. Try with the block, try propping yourself up, and you may feel like it just offers a little bit more freedom through the sideline of your body. And then releasing down, and we're going to do the other side. So left arm is going to lift up. And again, you can prop yourself up. An indication too would be if you are twisting and your hand is down here and your knees are bent, but you can only get this range of motion out of your twist. That's another indication that you need to lift up. You need to prop yourself up, get more of a neutral spine. Twist it and you will be able to breathe so much better. And releasing out. Okay, walk around, back to your front foot, top of the mat. Step back, plank, chaturanga. Take it to up dog or cobra. Take it to downward facing dog. Walk it out. Okay, let's set the left foot forward, right knee down to the floor. So reaching up both arms here, hands to your heart. Inhale, exhale. Twist right elbow onto your left knee, holding here low, lifting up high, opening your arms if you want to. Holding and breathing, and just kind of doing those micro adjustments here, pushing down a little bit more, feeling, just seeing where you can get a little more space out of the pose. Every inhale, trying to find some space. Every exhale, and we're relaxing into the twist. All right, and releasing out of that twist. Hands to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Lower through chaturanga. Into up dog. So up dog, or you can stay in cobra. Let's just hang here and get some extension through the spine. Enjoy the back bend. If you are, if this feels like it's too much on your low back, then you are down here and just holding as best as you can, or you're propped up on your forearms and holding here, okay? Keep breathing. The classic upward facing dog, by the way, it could be considered a balance pose or an arm balance because my feet, knees, as you can see, are not touching the floor for the classic upward facing dog. tops of my feet are pressing onto the floor and I'm pushing down into my hands. So just the tops of my feet and my hands are on the ground, and I'm using the more of the strength of my arms to hold myself up in the extension. Shoulders are pulling down and back, so a ton of shoulder strength here. And then you can release down from wherever you are. Just release right onto the floor and bring one cheek onto the floor, just holding, breathing, neutral. Doing a little bit of shoulder, hip opening now. Taking your left arm out to the left. So as best as you can, straight out from your shoulder. The hand is straight out from your shoulder. Right hand is at your shoulder. Bend into your right elbow and lift your right foot up. Bend into the knee and start rolling over onto your left. And then maybe that right knee, maybe that right foot touches the floor. Maybe your head comes onto the floor. Breathing deep here. You may be back here, so your leg may be just here, maybe you're just on the side. If you have really tight shoulders, maybe your feet are stacked and just lifting your hips off of the ground is enough for you. But as you start to bend into your knees, you may be able to find both knees bending and really pinning yourself back with both arms here. All right, so releasing nice and slowly, going around. What we want to do, come back to neutral, and then right away bring that left arm, slide it back in nice and gently, and then look to the left with one cheek or side of the head onto the floor and breathe. We'll do the other side. Take your right arm straight out to your right, left hand just by your shoulder, and then you're lifting your leg up, you're lifting your hip up, and you're just rolling, rolling, rolling. So again, you're either here, maybe you're just here, just on your side. It's a pretty intense shoulder stretch and chest opener. If you are not used to it, it could be quite intense. Just with your body weight. It's a passive stretch, but you are putting your whole body weight into it. So just check in with yourself. Don't feel like you need to advance the pose. If it's going to cause you any pain, you should just feel like it is stretching you. So I definitely don't have the range of motion on this side like I did on the other side. And that's fine. One side will feel different than the other. Okay, releasing out. Come back around and look to your right. Bring your right arm in. Find yourself at neutral. All right, so hands underneath your shoulders. Go ahead and prop yourself up. Walk your knees in and then spin yourself around. Coming back into Sukhasana, just cross-legged position. Lift your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Walk over to your right knee. Walk over to your left knee. And then come back to center. Walk up. Bend just into your right knee and extend your left leg out in front of you. Take your left hand by your side, reach your right arm up, and then reach forward. Okay, lean back, reach up, This time reaching forward and maybe binding or half binding from here. So I'm doing palm facing out to the right, and then I'm wrapping my bicep around my right shin. That's the half bind. With your other arm, you can full bind. With your left arm, you're reaching around, and it's really important just to kind of exaggerate this motion here, just to get this stretch out through your arm, and it's going to wrap behind your back, and you're reaching for your hand, your right hand with your left hand. So maybe you're holding onto a strap or a sock, maybe a piece of clothing. Maybe you don't even bind, but you do a pretend bind. So you just kind of wrap that arm around your back, and that's really good too, because it's just putting your shoulder in external rotation. And if you're really not used to doing that, then just holding without any bind is perfectly fine. You'll still get the stretch out of it. It's just a less of an activated or forceful stretch. It's just more of a seeing how this rotation feels in your body kind of stretch. Okay, releasing out, and then we're going to take a twist. So we're just going to take a hold of the left outer edge of right outer edge of your foot with your left hand. So holding that, and then reaching back. I'm just going to spin around. So holding like so. So maybe your knee needs to bend. That's fine too. We just want to twist out of this situation. Doesn't matter if your knee is bent or straight. Try to lift up nice and tall from your core, from your tailbone right up to your crown of your head. Okay, releasing out, and then switching sides. So your left knee is going to bend, and your right leg is going to be straight. Left hand beside you, right arm is just going to reach forward. So just practicing kind of reaching, feeling your hips kind of pull in towards yourself, feeling your back round. And then rise up. And reach forward again. Sorry, I'm on my other side. So lifting with your left arm. So your left arm that's reaching forward. I was wondering why it felt kind of weird. And holding. Try to keep pulling this knee in, because that's what happens is your knee just tries to go out. Try to keep it pulling in. Okay, now binding. So I'm turning my left hand out, wrapping my bicep around my shin for the half bind. With your right arm, you are reaching around and maybe holding on to your other hand, or maybe not. I'm just trying to draw your shoulder blades down and back as best as you can. All right, and go ahead and release. From here, we are doing that twist, so we're holding onto the outer edge of the left foot with your right hand, and then reaching back with your left arm, lifting up nice and tall, getting that stretch across your back. And letting that go. All right, so from here we're going down onto the back, rolling like a ball. Make sure there's space back behind you. Grab onto the backs of the knees, tuck your chin. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, roll forward. Maybe you're just doing little rocking motions. That's completely fine. Maybe you're doing the full range. Do about 5 or 6. And then meet in happy baby pose. Okay, so happy baby pose, grabbing onto your inner knees, shins, or grabbing onto your feet, or grabbing onto your toes, and try to pull the hips down. Knees wide, rocking side to side. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. In through the nose, out through the mouth, side out. Try to get a neutral spine here happening with your breath. All right, so releasing bring your knees together above your hips. Take your arms out to a T position. Drop your knees to the left side. So knees together over to the left. And if you want, for more intense twisting, then slide your bottom leg out from underneath. Place your left hand on the right knee or thigh and just adding that extra weight to help your twist happen. With your right arm, of course, you're working on hunting around to see where you can feel any tension and seeing if you can work around that tension with movement, with your breath, with some rotation of your hand, palm facing up and palm facing down. So start exploring. Maybe you're just being still and just holding this position. Long deep breaths in, coming in, long deep breaths moving out. Just start to try to relax the body more and more as we approach Shavasana, just even getting into that mental headspace. Alright, slowly release from here. Let's take it back to center. Give yourself a hug. Wrap up. Squeeze your knees in. Head into your knees. Let it go. Knees above your hips. Arms out to a T. Drop your knees to the right side. Same thing here. Adjust. Modify as you need to, as you feel in your own body. And work around in your left shoulder as you need to as well. Perhaps your head rocking motion is what you need as well. So it's kind of doing anything that feels good in your own body and just at a very slow and mindful pace. So take your time here, slowly return back to center. Give yourself a hug, wrap up, and release. So windshield wipers are next. Bring the feet to the floor, take your arms out to a T position, drop your knees left and right. Take some long deep breaths in, long deep breaths moving out. Relax your eyes and let your eyes close at this point. And then start just to feel very, very lazy at this point. Letting momentum take over with the legs moving side to side. Noticing how you feel as you're moving and what's kind of, what's stretching you at this point as your knees move from side to side. You're really noticing that stretch from moving across your body in that twist. Shoulders perhaps. Maybe you're feeling it in your low back. Maybe you're just feeling it in the glutes as you move from one glute to the other with the weight in your knees. Notice how your feet, the soles of your feet feel at this point. Alright, and so everything all down here, we're going to move into Shavasana, starting with one leg, then the other. Moving into Shavasana or finding any other comfortable position that suits you best. The goal is to be completely still for the next few moments. So that is what you want to find here. It just minimize distraction, cover up, prop yourself up. If you don't feel comfortable lying flat, bend your knees and at least just try and have a neutral spine. So finding your tailbone neutralized to the floor, maybe hands onto the belly where you can focus on your breath. Focusing on the breath is the point of Shavasana. It's all about the breath, leaving the body behind for now. So take a deep breath in, fill the lungs, fill the belly, feel yourself almost lift off your mat with how much air you're taking in, and then let it all go. Breathe out through the mouth, nice and slowly. Feel your rib cage pull in, feel your back sink down, feel your legs get heavy. Continue taking at least 2 more deep breaths in and deep breaths out. If you haven't taken any breaths out through the mouth yet this class, I do suggest taking a long deep breath, sigh it out, make some sounds, and letting it go. It does help relax the facial muscles to breathe a nice long breath out through the mouth. Letting your eyes relax or letting them close so that you can keep focusing inward on your body and just being still. Letting go of something every exhale you take out, whether it be any kind of mental or physical stress from your day, from your week. If you feel yourself getting caught up in thoughts or thought patterns, see if you can redirect your attention back into your breath. Notice the sound of your breath. Notice your body relaxing deeper into the floor, into the mat. Noticing sounds around the room from far away. Noticing but not getting attached to any sounds. So all about observing what's happening in the present moment with your body and with your environment. Keeping a calm breath throughout it all. Slow breaths coming in, count of 5, and moving out for a count of 7. Very slowly, we are reawakening, adding a bit of movement through the body, fingers and toes, testing the air out around you. Breathing deeper. Notice your relaxed body breathing. Belly, the lungs, completely opening and then exhaling everything out. bit by bit and just really mindfully adding on bits of motion and moving really intuitively to help yourself reawaken. Stretching arms overhead, rocking the knees from side to side, rocking the head from side to side. And just kind of keep adding on, rocking or rolling over onto your right side. And making your way up to seated. So namaste everybody. Thanks for joining me on this Monday. And leave a comment below if you like this video or give me a thumbs up. All my videos are on YouTube and there are a lot more to choose from. And I'm going to be doing a HIIT class on Wednesday at 7 p.m. So check it out if that's your thing. If you like cardio and you like strength things, then that may be your thing. Other than that, thanks for joining me and have a great week, everybody. Bye.